space. Mati here in Excalibur, the 9th of January 2026. The Philosopher's Stone and the Body of Origin. When the Philosopher's Stone is mentioned today, most people immediately think of a modern story. They associate it with magic, fantasy, a legendary object that appears in novels or films. For many, the first time they heard that name was through Harry Potter, where the Philosopher's Stone appears as an artifact capable of granting eternal life and transforming any metal into gold. But that image, powerful as it may be, is only a late echo of something far older. The Philosopher's Stone was not born in England. It was not born in modern literature. It was not even born in the Middle Ages. The Philosopher's Stone is an idea that runs through the entire history of humanity, because in truth it is not a thing. It is a question, and it is also an answer. It is the question of how consciousness incarnates in matter, and the answer is the body. What the Philosopher's Stone really is. For centuries, alchemists searched for the Philosopher's Stone as if it were an external object, something that could be manufactured, found, or possessed. A secret hidden in laboratories, encrypted codices, or impossible formulas. Many of them were mistaken, not because alchemy was false, but because they confused the symbol with desire. They believed transmutation consisted in controlling matter, not in transforming themselves. They sought to turn lead into gold in order to enrich themselves, to dominate, to extend power over the world. That was not alchemy. That was chemistry in the service of the ego. The true alchemists knew something else. They knew that the Philosopher's Stone is not found outside, because the Philosopher's Stone does not seek to be a stone. It seeks to make oneself the stone. Philosophy and stone, mind, heart, and body. The word philosophical is not accidental. It comes from philosophia, the love of wisdom. But wisdom does not live only in the mind. If philosophy were only thought, alchemy would never have existed. The key lies in the union of two terms, philosophy and stone. Philosophy represents the mind and the heart, understanding, vision, meaning. The stone represents the body, the dense, the stable, that which sustains. The Philosopher's Stone is therefore the coherence between mind, emotion, and action. Thinking, feeling, and doing aligned, embodied consciousness. That is why all the sages of antiquity knew that the goal was not to fabricate a luminous stone, but to become that state of coherence themselves, a body so aligned with its consciousness that it could hold light without fragmenting. The sword and the stone. At this point, one of the most powerful symbols of the Western tradition appears, Excalibur. Excalibur is not just a sword, it is a diagram of the aligned human being. The sword embedded in the stone represents exactly the mystery of the Philosopher's Stone. Only one who is centered can extract it. Not by force, but by coherence. If we observe the sword as a symbol of the body, everything aligns. The hilt of the sword corresponds to the head and neck. The guard, the horizontal part that protects the hand, corresponds to the shoulders and arms, forming a cross. The blade descends from the high heart to the root chakra, passing through the central axis of the body. And the exact point where the hilt meets the blade, the center of the sword, corresponds to the throat. The word. Excalibur is the symbol of a human being who has aligned their inner axis and found their creative power in speech. Not just any word, but the word that creates reality, because it arises from a coherent body. That is why the sword is not lifted by muscle, but by truth. The great alchemy of the word. This same alchemy appears under other names, in different traditions. One of the deepest occurs in the story of Jesus. When Jesus changes Simon's name to Petrus, he is not making a minor symbolic gesture. He is performing a complete alchemy through the word. Simon, the one who doubts, becomes stone. Not just any stone, but the foundational stone upon which a structure is built. The cross, which is nothing other than a transformed sword, rests upon that stone. Word, body, and sacrifice align in a single gesture. That is alchemy, not external magic, transformation of being through the word. And that alchemy, misunderstood or oversimplified, was one of the greatest the world has ever known, because it reorganized the consciousness of entire continents. Space and time, stone, and momentum. The alchemy of momentum works with time. The alchemy of the philosopher's stone works with space. Momentum recalibrates history. The philosopher's stone recalibrates the body. Together, they constitute the complete opus magnum. Returning to the origin in time is useless if there is no body capable of sustaining that origin in space. That is why the great work does not end in a luminous instant. It must incarnate. Becoming the stone, the 92 elements. Our work is not to search for the stone, it is to build it. Each of the 92 chemical elements is an expression of how consciousness organizes itself in matter. Each element is a quality of the body of the universe and of the human body. By traversing them one by one, we are not studying chemistry. We are assembling the stone within ourselves, integrating layer by layer, vibration by vibration, until the body can sustain consciousness without fragmenting. That is becoming the philosopher's stone. Arthur, the North, and the Knights. The story of King Arthur is not a medieval fable. It is a map. Arthur derives from Arctos, the bear, the North, the pole, the fixed point around which the stars revolve. Arthur is the center that orients. The 12 knights of the Round Table are not isolated characters. They are the 12 archetypes, the 12 constellations, the 12 movements of consciousness around the center. Every 12 days, we pass through one of these archetypes. Every node of the earth is a stone. Every stone is an alchemical element. By traversing them, we are not traveling to conquer territories, but to reposition the sword, to return the North to its place, to become ourselves, the new knights, not of an external table, but of a circular consciousness. The new great work. Our goal is not to repeat an ancient story. It is to reactivate it. We return to the origin through momentum. We reconstruct the philosopher's stone through space. We place Excalibur where it belongs, at the center of being, in the conscious word. Not to dominate the world, but to inhabit it coherently. That is true alchemy. That is the opus magnum. Not to create gold, but to create human beings capable of holding the light and to finally become the stone we were seeking. Welcome to the Philosopher's Stone.